G'day fellas. Welcome to the 6th game in the series between Mitoe and Aizamk. For anybody unfamiliar with the way that this series works, this is the blind civ matchup. So each player goes in only knowing the map, not knowing what their opponent's civilization will be, and then subsequently picking a civilization of their choice. In this match, Aizamk has opted with the Russians. His opponent, Mitoe, spawning in the south of the map, has opted with the Dutch. Dutch, at the moment, are a civilization that is definitely one of the stronger civs. In the most recent tier list done by H, who is a top player, he rated the Dutch in the S tier, whereas he rated the Russians in, I think it was the B tier. So, definitely an advantageous map for the Russians in that they, while they don't necessarily have a trading post or a trading line that they can grab control of, they do have these llamas that they're going to be able to take and definitely gain a lot of map control throughout the middle and get a lot of these natural resources. The one thing for Dutch, though, is that Dutch don't really need a lot of natural resources. They can stay in their base. Oh, Sergando actually saying he put Russia in C tier. There you go, Russia in C tier. So we've got S tier versus C tier. So it's going to be a difficult matchup for A's. We'll see if he can beat the odds, though. So when it comes to points for this, I'm not too sure whether Dutch are 3 points or 2 points, but it doesn't really matter for Mitoe because he's on match point. So it doesn't matter what civilization he plays at this point. Because whether he wins with a 2-point civ or a 3-point civ, he wins because he's on 9 points currently. So the victor needs to get to 10 points. That's the way that this works. And so it looks like his explorer trying to drown the wolf here. We've got Oliver Carstans just really doing his best to... Okay, managing to finally get it out. Going to be able to get that native scout now. Only losing a little bit of HP off his explorer. We've now got... let's have a look in and check in on Aizamk. Aizamk, maybe he's dropping down a market. I don't think a market is standard on this map. It's not. So if we have a look, he hasn't researched hunting dogs. It's curious as to why he's just dropped down that market. And I don't think he would have researched, not log fume, gangsaw at this point. Now going distributivism. Let's take a look at his deck, see what we've got. So he's got his standard land deck, 9 Manchu in here. Double factories, as well as the Age 1 Explorer card, Polar Explorer. So, curious. Also got Team Cheap Priests. Team Healers are cheaper and train much faster. Unit cost reduced by 50%. Build time reduced by 50%. Okay, that's a curious card. Are we going to see that? Are we potentially going to see that? I hope that we see that. Team Cheap Priests. Anybody unfamiliar with Team Cheap Priests, you're going to be in for a real treat this game. This strategy was formulated at a very intimate moment by Keister. So Keister, one of the top NA players, he thought this up when he was, having a little bit of personal time. He's like, wait a minute, I can send Team Cheap Priests. Now we've got a bit of a treasure contention coming down. Mitoe looks like he's going to be able to get here right in time, taking the shot and then just absolutely nailing the pickup. 100% stealing that treasure. Mitoe with 100 XP and just walking away. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and neither does Mitoe, because he is obviously a cool guy, because he just won that treasure. Really, really well played. Oh, damn. All right, so now we get take a look at Mitoe aging up with the quartermaster. 1v... His deck is called 1v1 Aizamk. So knowing what Aizamk is all about, knowing what he's up to, he's got that town militia in the deck, as well as food silos in Age 1. So not opting for the the Bank of Amsterdam, Banks of Rotterdam. Unfortunately, no fish in this river, so probably going to need to buff this on the map. Isn't that water beautiful? This water is really nice. It's got a lovely color to it. I love the way it flows. I tell you what, people say they're a big fan of like the Age of Empires 4 graphics. Honestly, how can you beat this? This is so beautiful. To think that this game came out in 2007 and it looks this freaking good still in 2021. I'm so impressed, man. I am so impressed. That is just gorgeous. Look at that. I've got a bit of a ring around the rosy coming over here. Oliver looking for some shots on Andrej. We've got any research coming in from the market. We do have the gangsaw improvement. We never got the hunting dogs improvements for the Russian explorer or for the Russian villages. Aging up with 14 villages. Curious. We'll stick with Mitoe. Mitoe dropping down the bank now. So Mitoe, we'll ride on board with Mitoe, because he's going to be aging up first, going up with the quartermaster. So I do suspect in this matchup, He's probably going to be opening stable first as the Dutch, and then potentially switching into a barracks after that. But, you know, I've been wrong before. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some quick walls out from Mitoe and he, you know, does some sort of, like... I would really like to see him, like, just create a wall, like, here, 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 and just stick skirmishes inside of it. That'd be so cool. I want to see that. You know what? I'm calling that. We're going to see a racks from Mitoe here in the opening. I'm just going to speed it up and then slow it down. Make sure... Hopefully that's a bit faster. 400 wood. Now calling in the 700 wood from the home city. So not going with the bank wagon. So to me, that kind of indicates he thinks he's got enough time that he's probably going to be able to put down a bank.
Hello?
A second bank here. Getting the 80 wood treasure as well. Nice pickup. Got a native scout that's going to be able to... Well, it's getting snared at the moment. Andre is going to try and stop it from happening. So Mitoe has undoubtedly scouted the blockhouse going up. He knows what is up from his opponent, so no fast fortress shenanigans into Opronix or something like that. I think that's more of a strategy that happens against Sweden. I don't think it's a strategy that really happens against the Dutch. A fast fortress into Opronix is a recipe for death, I would suspect. Just because the Reuters... Someone actually messaged me on Instagram. They're like, hey, Drongo, did you know that you're pronouncing Reuter wrong? It's actually pronounced Reuter. So now, that's how I'm pronouncing it. I'm hoping that I'm getting that right for all my fans in the Netherlands, all the people out there watching at the moment. Native Scout is going to go down, the Shoshone. Native Scout. Shoshone! Hey, I know the Shoshone from Civilization. Is it Civilization 5 or Civilization 6? The Shoshone. Really, really cool civilization. Definitely one of the better civs. I will say that much when it comes to balance. Now the bank wagon coming in, dropping down this second bank. No military production building just yet, but we do have a plenty amount of wood on the ground. Third bank going down. Oh my god, Mitoe, are you playing how many banks can we get down before the Russian attacks? Because if you are, it looks like the answer is going to be 3 because this that's 5 Cossacks that are coming out now. Bank wagon is here as well. This is going to be, this is an awkwardly timed bank. He doesn't have the resources to call Minuteman. He actually does if he cancels this village. Look at this cute little quick wall coming in right here just to defend the villages. Look at it. It's just perfect. The perfect quick wall. He gets it up and he just like, oh, it is so nice. It's perfect. The 5 Cossacks would have just been able to run in behind here, block the villagers from coming in. Now we've got the Strelay coming in behind it. We don't have any military production building at this point, but you know what? He's not going to even need it. You know why? When this bank comes up, he's going to be sending in colonial militia. I guarantee you it. You ready? Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. Town militia. Let me see it. Let me see it. Where is it? Come on. Send it in. There it is. There it is. All right. He doesn't even need to do anything. He's got 4 banks up and he just sends town militia. Easy. Easy game. Easy life. This is a really tough matchup for A's because Dutch, you know, they are not too fast when it comes to sending their town militia card. Town militia is a card that's almost standard on Dutch in every single matchup, and the fact that they get to do it against Russia is really good because it means they're going to be able to one-shot Strelay. Now, you might be thinking, well, hold on a minute. A town center can already one-shot Strelets. Incorrect. It does not because of the 30% resist. So it's got 30% range resist, and the 30% range resist is going to be allowing them to live just a little bit longer than normal. You can see him just getting shots out on all of these Strelets, getting them all down to a low health amount, and dropping down a 5th bank, just saying, hey, you know what, man? I don't need a military production building. I'm fine. I love these walls. These walls are just so beautiful. Interestingly, like the way that he's deleting pillars as well, he's not deleting all the pillars. He's just like manually selecting the pillars and then deleting them because he's got these important pillars up that are protecting him. I love this. Isn't this so nice? Just these little nooks that he's creating. He's got 15 idols at the moment in his town center. Mitoe, I'm going to need you to wake up. There we go. Mitoe now waking up. Let's go check in. We'll ride with A's for a little bit, see what he's up to. We know that Mitoe's got those 5 banks up. He's only scouted 4 of them so far, though. But I'm sure he can suspect with the playstyle that's come out that that it will be 5. Now dropping down a stable as well, Aizamk is. It's up to 20 villages. Plenty more Strelets coming in. So we've got the 5 Cossacks. Now, I would suspect that A's knows what Mitoe is up to. And he would know, well, hold on. I see 4 banks. I'm going to know town militia is coming in soon. So, do we see He actually... Oh, okay. I thought he cancelled Town Militia and was sending in the church card. So looking... You can see right now he's macroing for that Fortress Age. He's going to be placing down another pillar. Oh my god, putting down the double pillar! Oh, you thought one pillar was enough. You were wrong, my friend. You need 2 pillars. And putting in a wall in the middle as well, just like... Oh, really triple walling. And the first villager goes down. Yeah, you didn't think about that one, did you, Mitoe? You think you're real cute with your walls, but any other low health villagers? No, not really. Got his great coats in as well. Harrison will be happy with that. Look at managing to get these behind. It's a little bit difficult to get them behind, but being very sneaky. And now picking down the low hit point villagers, religious freedom coming in. So now we just need to get that church up. He's going to be able to buy wood here. Explorer going to be able to do a little bit of damage. Now, keep in mind, he does have the town colonial militia in here. He only needs 9 villagers in the town center to one-shot the Strelay. So just keeping in that 10th villager now, just to keep it safe. And just taking out the Strelay, no real issues. Aizamk, let's have a look and see what he's got. He does have Boyers in his deck, so that interaction will bring their health point, or their hit points up above where they get one shot by the town center, but it's going to take a while for that to come in. It used to affect muskets, doesn't affect muskets anymore. Now affects Opriniks instead. Aizamk not aging up behind this. Mitoe now dropping down a church with all of these villagers. He's like, you know what, we're going to treat this like a Chinese wonder, and we are just going to prioritize the heck out of it. You know what we're going to see? I can already smell it. It's going to be the Ward Gelders. If anybody unfamiliar with the Ward Gelders, they are the Dutch version of the Stradiots. Now deleting a pillar, this is very, very cute. And aging up. So I really wouldn't be surprised to see him just sell a whole bunch of food and just get these Stradiots out immediately. But, I mean, he's not under any real pressure at the moment, so it's not important. And, you know, one of the things about Mitoe is he is famous for doing, like, these pops. I mean, not as famous as Ace. I think both players are equally famous about it. Really unfortunate position on the gold mine here at the front. Very difficult for him to gather. You know, imagine if it had been in the back, it just would have been a completely different story. He might have to go back onto this coin mine back here. But now picking up a couple of Strelets just for free. 9 villagers in the town center, still one-shotting these Strelets. So A's now sending... Oh no, A's is going for Team Cheap Priests. Oh no. Here we go. Alright, he's got 11 villagers on coin at the moment. Let's check and see what upgrades have they got. They don't have their placer mines in just yet. I'm getting excited. I am getting excited. Oh my god. Oh god. This is... You're on match point right now, A's. Like, you could potentially lose the entire series and you're going for Team Cheap Priests. Oh, you make me so happy. Oh, you make me so happy. We've got the church up as well. He is doing it. He's going for the Team Cheap Priests. So we've got the 11 Cossacks, the 17 Strelay, and we've got the 5 muskets. And how many Cheap Priests are we going to get? I'm suspecting we're going to get at least 20. Oh my god. Is A's playing seriously? A's is indeed playing very seriously right now. Coffee trade coming in. No way. He's not going coffee trade. This is like... This gets researched in like maybe 5% of Dutch games. How is he researching coffee trade right now? So this has just reduced the military speed, or the speed of his military, by 10% for the rest of the game. His entire military, his Culverin, his Falconets, his Hussars, his Mercenaries, his Skirmishers, Halberdiers, Pikemen, everything reduced by 10%. All land military. Now the Ward Gelders getting called. Instead of being on 7.25 movement speed, they're on 6.52. And it looks like they're going to be able to pick up the Strelets. The Cossacks are out of position. They're on the bottom side of the town center. Ward Gelders just getting all these beautiful pokes off. They're going to be 2-shotting the Strelets. They're going to be 3-shotting the muskets. And there's just nothing he can do. Now, keep in mind, these have got 30% range resist, so even if he turns around and tries to fight them, it's going to be so difficult for him to do it. The Cossacks now finally coming back. These have also got range resist, so the Ward Geld is going to match up quite well against them. Now, 5 Hussars with the Ward Gelders would have really just been good game, but instead opting for the Cords of 1,000 wood. Melee attacks by the muskets, getting them in. 2 Ward Gelders going down. Looks like he's going to lose at least 2 of his Ward Gelders. The third one definitely going to be going down. This is one of the higher HP ones as well, so unfortunate to see 4 of them managing to get away. No, they're sieging. Oh my god, they were sieging the stable. Really got to be careful with these Ward Gelders. Now the shipment's coming in. Got that 1,000 wood. I think he may be opting to go for a double bank play. He's got the resources for it. Explorer moving into position as well. Ward Gelders now picking up some villagers on this coin mine. Really cheeky. Do we have priests? We don't have any priests out just yet. No priests in the mix. Looking forward to seeing those first priests. Come on, let me see them. Team Cheap Priests, you are in right now. I know you want to make them. I want to see them. Get them out there. Come on, A's. All right. Explorer's still down here on the back line. Oh, we spotted a whole bunch of villagers. I didn't realize there were all these villagers down here. Mitoe's village is getting picked up now. Really, really nice raid. No military units here. Double racks going down. Double bank getting dropped down as well. Going for the 7 banks at 11 minutes build. Classic build order. Classic Mitoe stuff. And now a whole bunch of villagers being picked off. And the single explorer just snaring the villagers. Oh, pulling them back. Okay, really, really smart move here. And now grouping them all together again, so they're going slow. So this one villager is getting snared 2.6 movement speed. It's snaring all of the villagers that are associated with it because he's grouping them up together. You can see, and now they're all getting caught. Second villager going down. We've got 2, 3 more villagers. There's a third, there's the 4th. 5th one gonna go down. 6th one gonna go down over here. 7th villager right here. We've got an 8th villager that's going down. 9th one over on the left-hand side. So that's the 9th right there. Is he gonna get a 10th one as well, potentially? Mitoe down to 20 villagers now at this point. 29 villagers of his opponent. We've got the cheap priest coming in. 75 coin on each one of these bad boys. Check out the stats on these guys. 486 health. These guys are tank machines. 75 coin is all they cost. Oh, he's already got a whole bunch of them out on the field, so these don't have any siege, but they do have an awesome health pool, so really going to be able to do a lot of tanking. You got to be so careful against these guys because you have to micro. If you're not microing, your units are going to start shooting at them, and then you've got a real problem because they're going to soak so much damage. So Mitoe really needs to be careful. Mitoe is famous for his good micros, so I'm sure he's not going to have too many of an issue. But now, Mitoe sitting with his 7 banks up at this point, deleting another wall. He's got the priests in. Let's listen to those beautiful voices of the priest. Prikaz. Sto. Sto. Готов. Beautiful voices. We've now got 12 priests out on the field. 12 priests, that's more than 5,000 hit points that he's going to be able to tank with those. So got to be really careful. Make sure he keeps his priests in the front. Keep them tanking. I love this. More priests coming out behind this as well. Look at these priests. Look how fast they move. They're only 4.6 movement speed, but I tell you what, they're moving like they're freaking rockets, man. Now the priests getting in. Just... oh, they're so cheeky. Look at their outfits, the way that they're tackling the opponent, getting their fisticuffs in. Swiss pikes have been called. Swiss pikes popped from the town center. Mitoe with the Swiss pikes now. Look at the size of the pikes on them. They're going to be able to deal very effectively with the priest because the Swiss pikes have got quite a high base damage, celebrating their victory right there. Now, obviously, they've got a massive multiplier against cavalry, but they also do really well just against melee units because of that high multiplier. Also, the 30% melee resist is going to mean that they absorb a lot more damage. But the main issue is they're going to be getting damaged by the Strelays, but it looks like Ace is going to be able to push or get pushed in right here. I think Mitoe's got more than enough. Also sending the 8 skirms from the home city. Huge amount of shipments that have come in. Those pikes really demonstrating the size of the economy that Mitoe's got going here. So normally you wouldn't see the pikes getting called in this early. I love it though. It's so smart. Using the bank. So when you think about this kind of strategy, all right, Dutch typically only going to go 5 banks. Okay, now what do you get from banks? Now you get a coin income. That's the first thing, but you also get experience. You get 140 build experience with this, which means that's going to power up your shipments. So you send 1,000 wood. You build 2 banks with it. Well, now you're kind of, it's like you're paying back yourself for that shipment of 1,000 coin. And on top of that, you're now you're 1,000 wood. And now on top of that, you're generating more coin because you've got 7 banks instead of 4 banks. Okay, so 1 bank is equivalent to like 4 Dutch settlers. 7 is equivalent to 32 Dutch settlers. That's a lot of settlers, man. Hold on, sorry, 28 settlers. My math isn't the best, apologies. But I did sort that one out. Now the skirm's going to be chasing or fending off the Cossacks. Looks like they're going to be able to get into a pretty favorable position down here on the south of the map. Definitely wouldn't say these Cossacks are wicked, but I just really love the mechanics of the Swiss pikemen coming in from the 7 banks. It's so smart. It's really, really smart. I love it completely. That is just, oh my god. So now we've got, let's see, A's still no age up in queue at this point, sending in economic theory behind this. Down about 7k score at this point, so really difficult matchup here. Mitoe just really showing his prowess here. We've got a bit of Cossack mass that's building up. Nothing too serious, especially nothing to worry about with all those Swiss pikes that you've got. Not enough Strelets. I think 25 Strelets is probably still not enough to one-shot Swiss pikes. Let's do some math. 9 times 2 is 18 times 25. Oh, you know what? It's probably enough to one-shot a Swiss pike, now that I do the math. It's just enough to do it. So if we take a look at the priest, we can see that the type of unit it is just a healing unit. It's not an infantry unit. It's not a land infantry or land military unit. It's nothing. So it means it doesn't get countered by things like falconets, doesn't get countered by skirmishers. If you wanted to kill this with a falconet, you would need 5 shots, I think. Is a falconet 100 damage or 200? I think it's 100 base damage, right? So with 100 base damage, you'd need 5 shots from a falconet to kill a single priest. Now the priest's getting the snare on the skirmishers. Wait, do they? Oh, they might not snare. No, they don't snare. Okay, priests do not snare because they're not military. Some spies coming out now from A's. So really, going to be watching. Let's see the spies taking out. No, the spies are on the wrong unit. Spies, you got to be on the front line. Take out. The spies are attacking the skirmishers. Oh no, he had 2 spies out. None of them attacked either of the Swiss pikes. Still, the Swiss pikes are over here doing a lot of work. But my main fear right now is that he's got Swiss pikes, but they're all getting chased back. The Cossacks still haven't engaged at this point. Strelit's going to be able to separate the units out potentially. Cossacks doing a wonderful swing around the back. Strelitz didn't come in close enough. They needed to come in a little bit closer. Beautiful block here by the priests. Look at the priests, the way that they block. They're just doing so perfectly. No snares coming off. Keep that in mind. They're not military units. They will not snare. But these units are naturally slower because of coffee trade. Remember, Mitoe does have 7 banks up because of coffee trade. Training some units now. 5 hussars coming in on the way. We've got those Swiss pikes still on the front line. Looking like they're going to get a pretty good... Wow, just absolutely destroying that single Cossack. Down to how many Cossacks have we got now? We've got a couple of villages going down as well. I hear them going down. 11 Cossacks. So we've got the pikemen now into cover mode and slowly picking them off. But just these Cossack need to be in as soon as the closer they come in, the more likely it is these pikes come out of cover mode. Cover mode's going to reduce the incoming damage by 50% from ranged attacks. Now we've got hussars on the back line. Cossacks are going to do their best to stop this relatively close fight considering the difference in scores. We've still got this pretty large mass of skirmishers on the back line. 29 skirmishers, significant mass, but nothing to worry about when you've got this many Cossacks. Also, where are the priests? I need to see more priests. Do we have any priests in here? No priests in here. All the priests have been taken out. And you know when the priests have been taken out, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with. Now, it looks like most of the Swiss pikes have also been taken out. That's the last Swiss pike that's about to go down now. 8 halberdiers. Now, the halberdiers are in cover mode, so they're going to be doing less damage. A couple of the halberds being chased or chasing away the cav. I think at this point, he really just needs to try his best to commit. More halbs coming out from this barracks, so it's going to be even harder for him to hold now. At this point, we've got 12 halberdiers and a whole bunch of skirms, 27 skirms, so really not losing that mass. A single settler out here on the front line. Going to be taken down by the Strelay. There she goes. Dead. And now we've got more priests coming out, just when you thought there weren't enough priests. There they come. Look at that. Almost getting one-shot completely by the skirms. Keep in mind, the skirms don't do any bonuses against the priests. It's just that 18 raw damage. But when you've got this many skirms, it really doesn't make a difference. We've got 45 villagers. We'll do a quick stock take for A's. 45 villagers up against the 27 of his opponent. And now, keep in mind, there's an extra 28 villagers on top of that. So a total of about 55 villagers. Now, these are Dutch villagers, so they gather slightly faster than normal villagers. They're... You know, maybe we'll give him 28, 29. Huge amount of wood income. Buying food right now, we see Mitoe just saying, you know what? I don't really have the option to gather food, so I'm just going to buy it. And I think that's a wise choice. He does know about this hunt over to the right of the map. I think that's his only real option. So A's not making a choice to go out here and to jump on this hunt himself, bring it back. But now we've got some Cossacks moving in. The Strelit's just trading with the skirmishers, a couple of halberdiers out on the front line as well. 13 Strelits finally going to be coming in for Aizamk. It's almost the last shipment he sends. He does have the Russian unique church card in his deck, but only being in age 2 doesn't really give him much use. Halberdier is going to be able to do a lot of siege here. Let's see those Strelits firing upon the halberdiers. We've now got the priests entering into melee combat. Really nice micro here from Mitoe, being able to take down each of those Strelits is focusing multiple Strelits. A massive amount of skirmishers now building up. 33 skirmishers. Raid on the bottom side now. No Operinix yet because Ace isn't age 2. But he's an age 3 rather. But going to lose a lot of these villagers right now. Oh, this is a big raid. Some veteran Huss coming out to meet the Cossacks. But I suspect that the Cossack with their Boyars upgrade are going to be able to deal with the veteran Hussars even if he fights them. I would be sticking to these. I would be fighting these. I think that's a relatively good fight there. But he's actually giving up on them. I think because you've got more Cossacks, it's easier for you to micro as well. You've got more, but maybe I'm a little bit wrong. That is 7 Hussars. I guess that's a fair amount of Hussars, and they are veteran. I don't think they're Cav Combat upgraded, though. We'll take a look. They're not Cav Combat upgraded yet. Now the 1,000 food, or 700 food coming in. Not even opting for the Cav Combat after that. Just saying, I want units. I need units. I just need stuff out on the field right now. He could be sending in infantry combat, which would be giving him 15%. You know, that'd be giving 32 veteran skirms, 16 veteran halberdiers, an extra 15%. So really nice bonus here, but they're still opting to go with the food here. So now we've got what looks to be a decent push coming in. 5 more priests out over on the front line as well. I'm going to try my best to speed up the replay. It is running quite slow at this point, and I apologize, guys. It is going to be a little bit slower because of the replay speed run back. Now, a single priest coming up. Unfortunately, they don't snare. Look how slow these Hussars are. 6.07 movement speed. This is part of the reason why. So even though the replay is running slow, the Hussars are actually just running slow because of coffee trade. It's part of the reason why people don't go for coffee trade as the Dutch. It just doesn't feel good when your units are just running 10% slower the entire game. It really feels quite bad. So, you know, halberdiers and skirmishers are already slow enough as it is. Hussars definitely nowhere near as fast as the Cossack. But now, especially with the coffee trade, it just makes it so much worse. Halberdiers on the front line, going to do very well against priests. They've got that high melee resist as well as a very high base damage. Looks like the fight is breaking out. Hussars now over on the right-hand side. They're going to be meeting up against the Cossacks. Halberdiers in the mix with them, going to be chasing them away, getting their snares off. We've still got a bunch of 32 veteran skirms coming in. We've got double stable behind this that's going to potentially be swinging the fight even further. We'll take a look and see what reinforcements are coming in from A's. Nothing that's going to be imminently coming in, other than we've got some Strelets on the back line, but it looks like it's going to be more than enough for Mitoe to be able to take this one out. I suspect that with 31 skirms, that there's just never been... They've never been taken down. They've always sat around this mass, this 31 skirmisher number, like 28, 29 skirms. And now the veteran Hussars. Good game, says A's. And that is the end of the series. Mitoe taking the series 11 points over to 5 and being successful, reaching 10 points with the Dutch. Congratulations to Mitoe. Very well played. What a series. What a game. I absolutely love the matchups that we saw. Really well played to both players. A's managing to take out 2 games. Mitoe taking out 4 games. Let's take a look and see the final screen. We'll have a look at the resources gathered. Really, really close. Impressive. How is he so close? This is a Dutch boy. Oh, he's not that close. I mean, it looks close. 10,000. Hold on. At 10 minutes, we've got 11k versus 10k. It's not that bad, actually, when you consider that he's been gathering crates as well. I guess he was gathering crates. Both players gathering crates. I'm impressed that Mitoe, or that A's kept up with Mitoe so much in the game.